Hello again, classy people, this is Josh the Top Hat Gamer, and this week I'm reviewing The Witness. Many of you may recognize Jonathon Blow as the creator of Braid, a critically acclaimed puzzle platformer that took the world of indie development by storm. It's now 8 years later, and Mr. Blow has finally made his way back to our PCs and consoles with yet another enigmatic puzzle game called The Witness. So does The Witness stand up to its creator's legacy, or is it just another puzzle game? Let's take a look. The Witness drops you onto a mysterious island without so much as an explanation of who you are or what you're doing there. You'll soon find that the island is made up of a number of vastly different areas, each with their own unique puzzles and layouts that will need to be completed in order to even have a chance of finding answers. That is, if they exist. The world of The Witness is mysterious and eerie, and it's made up of vivid and colourful landscapes dotted with landmarks and details that exist to simply raise more questions. You'll be exploring a wide array of settings, including abandoned quarries, ruined temples, and autumn forests, all while the game's minimalistic soundtrack and ambience instills a sense of loneliness. While you wander around this strange, lonely island, you'll find a number of puzzles that threaten to halt your exploration. The core of many of these puzzles is simple: draw a line from the beginning of a maze to its end. While the challenges begin simply enough, it's not long before the game starts introducing new mechanics and concepts ranging from various symbols that dictate where you can and can't draw lines, to contraptions that cause a mirrored line to be drawn alongside your original line. At the outset, I caught myself wondering if The Witness could keep anyone entertained using the same old maze puzzle, but as it turns out, the number of different elements that can be added to change the task at hand is astounding, and that's before the game begins to really get difficult too. It's tough to talk about the game's various concepts and mechanics without inadvertently spoiling the fun, but I feel like the more important point of discussion is concerned with the way the game teaches you. Like I mentioned earlier, the game starts simply by showing you the basics of interacting with and completing the puzzles, and each new concept is introduced at an even pace after that. The Witness adds more and more of each element at a steady rate, ensuring that you can grasp the necessary ideas to carry on, and while many of the additional mechanics can be quite challenging, the difficulty curve and the rate of introduction keeps things from becoming overly frustrating. When puzzle elements begin to combine, you'll either be well versed in how each of the elements work separately, or you'll be able to go and find the tools to teach yourself about how unfamiliar mechanics work. There's almost no traditional tutorials, and I appreciate that the game doesn't treat you like an idiot. Even navigating between puzzles and areas is left up to your ability to follow contextual clues. My only real gripe I have with the game's way of teaching you is that without any kind of direction or assistance, you can easily find yourself wasting time analysing a puzzle you've yet to find the solution to. This is often due to the fact that there are multiple puzzles that are solved using solutions within the surrounding environment, and when a puzzle is missing any recognizable elements, you sort of assume that this is the case. I'm not sure what the fix for this admittedly minor gripe is though. Perhaps they could mark each puzzle with one of the symbols the game already uses to denote each area on the game's map. I don't know, just an idea. The only other issue I have with The Witness is regarding a handful of the late game puzzles. I understand that these need to be incredibly difficult, but there's a fine line between difficulty and annoyance. Some of these puzzles spin, flicker, and move about at speeds that began to give me a headache by the time I was done with them. And this isn't one of those I thought too hard for too long headaches. No, this is simply because the methods used to raise the difficulty of these puzzles is sensory overload. It's too much. With all that said, a handful of visually intense puzzles and a bit of wasted time is a small price to pay for the level of satisfaction that comes with the triumph that The Witness's hands-off approach to teaching players affords. And for those looking for an even greater sense of accomplishment, there are more optional puzzles than you could possibly imagine, with many hidden in plain sight. The amount of secrets in this game is ridiculous. This is an odd game to review. There's little narrative that can be properly discussed, or gameplay mechanics that can be touched on without ruining the fun of exploring and discovering The Witness for yourself. But what I can say is that The Witness is a masterclass in game design, with particular focus on how to teach players without resorting to holding their hand and leading the way. The Witness is mysterious and occasionally challenging to understand, but reaching the end goal is most definitely achievable, and the game trusts that solving it is within your ability, and that feels good. The Witness gets the Top Hat Gamer rating of excellent. Though the game's core mechanics are simple, it slowly introduces more and more elements, teaching you until you can face anything it can throw at you. It is not an easy game. but few games are more satisfying or rewarding to progress through. Plus it looks gorgeous. If you're looking for a unique experience or something to challenge your mind, then you can do far worse than The Witness. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the review informative. If you missed last week's review on Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, click the annotation. Now if you'll excuse me, I have some secrets to find.